Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dad Does Things. And today we are changing the oil in this beautiful 2022 Q7. And to change the oil, we have to remove the intake and this cross member to get to the oil filter down in there. Fun stuff. We'll show you guys to do this. It's actually not that complicated. Alright, we're going to start by removing this. Clips under here. There. Take that out so it comes off. Go. Now, let's take this off, that heat shield. And they look like a 25, number 25 Taurus. Yes, sir, that's the number 25 Taurus. Got out these clips here. Just get underneath them, pop them up. So. This tray's got to come out too. Swoop here a little bit. But to pull this out, you got to pull these bolts too. And bolts on this side here on the shield. This one there. One there. All these, very important. This pops out. Remainder out. I don't recommend doing that. Keep them all together. Boot back so you can get in there. And these pop right out. Like that. Right. Now we can remove the heat shield. It just flips over like that. And there is our little housing for our filter. But this bar has to come off to get that out. Okay, now to get this cross member out here, it is a T30. It's a bigger one than one for those. These got a little more oomph on them. Keep them together. One in here. Now you don't have to take it all the way out, but I recommend you do get it where you can move it back. Clips here on the side, you got some wiring there, kind of a pain. I always just thread these back in here just a little bit so we don't lose them. There we go. And now that housing is a large socket. I don't remember what size it is. Found our socket for that. That is a 32 millimeter. Goes right on top of that there. Now we're going to take it off. These little clips are sharp, so be careful. Now that we've got this loosened up here, we'll take it off. Oh, let me grab a rag. I like to put a rag or two down below it because it will drip. It is going to drip a little on it, but it's not too bad. Boom. We get our new filter that we previously sourced. Make sure you swap that over. New O-ring in the groove. Very important. What I'm going to do, it's all seated. And it doesn't go here. It looks like it does. It doesn't. It goes in this groove right there. So you can bring it over one. There, like that. Ah, there we go, like that. Get some fresh oil. I use World Purple. I love it. I've had a lot of good results with it. But follow your manufacturer's oil recommendations. Just get a little on your finger. Wet that, seal, keep it conditioned. You don't need much. Alright. I'm going to take this filter. Same either way. And it pops right in. And we're going to screw that back down in place. always start your threads by hand, never with a machine. All right, now it's getting tough. We'll grab our socket, 32mm socket, and ratchet. Crack her down. Doesn't need to be smoked down, but just until it's good and tight. There is a torque for it, but I don't know what it is. Just as good and tight. That's all you need. Make sure you pull your rag back out. Now that is the filter for Q7. It's actually not that hard, just a lot of stuff. It's not a big deal. So we flip this back over here. Drop that back into place. Like I said, always start your threads by hand. And like you hear, if you can't reach it, start them by hand. Always, there's no real reason to not. Like if you don't start it by hand, you cross thread it, and you'd be in a world of hurt. Now it's not jumping. The bit's not jumping out of there. It's the clutch setting on the drill. So that way you don't over torque it. What I do is all this in here. It's not too bad. Got some dust and stuff, but we're going to turn it upside down outside of the engine. Kind of wipe that out. Okay. Now, this goes back in. If you look here in the back there, these two hold this. They go in here. Like so. And the rest of these, this pops down on there. Got to get your boot here out of the way. That's going to pop down on there. Let's give her a push. Pops right on. Get your intake boot out of the way. Whoop, this is in the way. I don't know, we'll trap that. So. Gotta make sure everything is out of the way. Alright, this has to go on top of this, otherwise it's not going to get down. Pull your boot out of the way. Try this again. Make sure these clips, they get hung up here on the front of this sometimes. And they're sharp, so be careful with that. This boot out of the way. There we go. And now your boot is on here. There we go. Tuck it back in there. push it back into place. This back right down on there, and now we have our intake, or our air cleaner. This cleaner I'll put that down in a minute. But these two bolts here they go right there. And that's a T25. I need to switch it. Place. Closing. Starting by hand. Yep. Now these screws that we pulled out earlier, they go inside the heat shield here to there. And they don't need a whole lot of torque. So we're going to line them up, run it on down. That's okay. It doesn't need to be super tight. These I don't worry about running these down by hand. It's just a screw going into a plastic housing. It's not that big of an issue. Top coat. Well, no, we're going to run these down. Once again, not super tight. And now the beauty cover, which actually has purpose. Plug that back in. And it pops down. I got that backwards done. I do. It pops down on these little pins there. That rubber grommet right there pops onto these pins there, 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 and there. Now that we've got the top side done, we're going to get underneath it. If you have a lift, great. If not, you can slide in here. You got to pull this front belly pan down. And it's a bunch of those T25 screws. And so, here we go. Two larger screws here. Those are a T30. Out. Now, this right here. That is your oil pan bolt right there. And that is that's a big one. I gotta go get that one. I don't have that one. Hang on. Okay, I found it. It is a T45 Torx. Pops right in there. Nice and snug. Alright, we're gonna set up our catchment. Whether it's if you're doing it out in your driveway, pan, or if you're lucky enough to have one of these, they're great. Pop that out. Oop. Now the oil is done draining. We're going to put our plug back in with a new crush washer. This little guy right here. Okay, you want to make sure you put a new one in. What they do is they're soft and they're designed to deform and put a seal around the bottom. Wipe that off.
Then you gotta worry about who's on crack, who's playing with their phone, who's gonna shoot you. You know?
Same here. Got our T45 back on. Get her down. Just adjust a little German torque. Good and tight. Good. That's all we need. All right, we got our drain plug back in. Now we just need to put the belly pan back up. Belly pan. And make sure that goes up. That tab goes underneath it. All right. And then I like to start with these two bolts, not screws. Well, machine screws. Here. Just gonna run them down a little bit. Not down all the way, because you might be able to shift this one way or another. But we're gonna turn our clutch all the way down, or just don't smoke them all the way. I'm just gonna start running them in, nice and loose, all the way around. Alright, we're done buttoning up the belly panel. This car takes 8 liters, which is 7.2 quarts. So we're going to do like 7 and a skosh. People like Amsoil, Royal Purple, Castrol, GTF, whatever you use, make sure you use the proper weight for your product. The components in here have such tight tolerances that the oil needs to get in there, and just that thicker oil, I have a hard time getting in there. Let's see where we're at. That other jug I bought was previously used. I had 4 quarts in it on a fairly level surface here. So we're down. So we need to go a quart and a half more. There's a sight gauge on your bottles here to tell you how much is in it. So a little bit at a time, it's easier to put it in than it is to take it out. Almost there. Okay, that is our 7 quart mark. It takes 7.2 quarts. So we're gonna go about 25% below here. Okay. All right, now we've done the oil change, we've topped off our oil. We need to do the reset. So just turn the vehicle on, but leave the engine off, don't start it. go to your vehicle, settings and service, service intervals, next oil change, and your reset here. Are you sure you want to reset? Yes. Next oil change in 10,000 miles. I don't do it every 10,000 miles. I do my oil change every 4,000 to 5,000 miles. I don't see the point in going that far for your oil change. Like, engines are cheap. I mean, engines are very expensive. Oil and filters are cheap. Oh. And that's it. We're done. So you see, doing an oil change on nice luxury vehicles doesn't have to be all that difficult. Yeah, it was a lot of steps, but overall, not that hard. For the fuel, few extra tools that you can get at any hardware store. The one that might be tough to find would be the T45 for the oil plug. Past that, everything else, just get a nice set of Torx bits. Be able to take care of it all yourself. It's not that difficult. You see that vehicle's tall enough. You don't have to get a lift to do the oil change. I do recommend doing it on a level surface. I did not do it here. And the next oil change I will be doing is on our 2017 Golf GT. It's a Golf GTI, and I don't have it here. My wife has it at the moment, and in that's my BMW M6. That's a fun car. And way down there, that gray vehicle back there, that is my 2008 Jeep Patriot. It needs a new transmission. It doesn't currently have fourth gear, and so what I'm going to do is I've got a replacement transmission. If it doesn't bolt up, I'm going to take the broken bits out of the old transmission, put the new components in from the used transmission that I managed to source, and new shocks and struts and everything like that. And then I'm going to turn around and sell that. But motor in that thing is actually is quite good. But if you like what you see, subscribe, leave comments if you want me to try to do something, anything you want me to try to do. I like doing tasks and keeping busy that way. And like, if you have any questions, feel free to hit them up in the comments. But anyway, hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you around.